sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. Sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, Fins family? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Listen, we got a good one for you today. Miami Dolphins window is closing. What we can do right now to win with Tua Tagovailoa? Now, real quick, why am I doing this stream? Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and be a party pooper all summer, knowing that the Miami Dolphins 9 times out of 10 will blow an opportunity to go get a franchise quarterback. They've already said that they expect Tua to be the starter next year. And when you say it verbally and open, I have no other reason but to believe it. And maybe this time, by believing it, they actually finally will do something reversed, but that's neither here nor there. But so I gotta, as a Dolphin fan, I sit there and I'm like, okay, Tua again, how can we win a Super Bowl? How can we actually win right now? Because the window is closing. The window is closing. And before we get started, we have to talk about what that window is. What is the window? What is a window? You know, and a lot of football fans don't understand the science of what's going on in the NFL right now. We're in a whole new era People are thinking that you just build a team and you keep on trying to add pieces, all that good stuff, and trying to just every year build a Super Bowl contender. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in today's NFL, it is 100 times harder than the past NFL. Because in the past, when you start out the season, there was a lot more transparent fairness in the NFL. Now there's a lot of advantages that have been discovered that are built in. And if you're not one of those teams with an advantage, it is so hard to actually compete. What do I mean by that? Some teams have an advantage of the salary cap. And when I say some teams have an advantage of the salary cap, everybody has the same salary cap, but everybody isn't playing the same NFL game. Let me elaborate. One franchise may be playing the game. I'm going to go all out now and concede and struggle 4, 5, and 6 years from now. So I'm going to have even though the salary cap is $200 million, I'm going to carry a $400 million roster for 2 years. And year 3 and 4, I'm not going to have any of those big contracts on the team, but I'll be paying dead cap for the next 3 years. That's a real thing that's happening out here in the NFL. You have a handful of teams, about 5 of them every year, that when you look at their active contracts, it's about $400 million a year worth. But the way they structure them this year and next year is the salary cap $200 million. But those same players won't be on the team 3 years and 4 years and 5 years from now, but you'll be still paying dead cap and your team will suck and you won't make the playoffs. How can a team doing it the regular way, trying to keep it $200 million worth of contracts and $200 million worth of cap hit, compete against a $400 million roster? How can you compete with that? And King E, it doesn't matter if it goes up. 4 years from now, it ain't going to go up more than 50 million. So it can keep going up, but that's not the point. Some teams are so loaded. Go look at the Eagles when they won a Super Bowl. They had over $300 million worth of contracts, even though the salary cap at the time was literally like 160. But they also recognize that they're sacrificing future success to try to win now. How does the regular team doing it consistently the right way, how do you compete with that? And now in the NFL, you got about 5 teams that do that every year. Thank you, T-Rich. The Saints. The Saints were negative $57 million last year, and the salary cap isn't real. They got under and had $20 million to spend. And now it's $65 million. But remember, they cleared the cap and had money to spend, but they lost. Didn't even make the playoffs. And now they're negative $65 million, which they'll clear that. And they'll lose again. Now, the Saints will be out of that situation next year in 2024. But those last 3 seasons with Drew Brees, when they loaded the team and overspent, they were in a window where they were going for broke, and they knew that this day would come. The only problem for them, they failed. They failed. The Saints officially failed their all-in approach. You want to know another team that you can consider right now as having failed? The Dallas Cowboys. They did this as well. Not on the level that the Saints did, but they did it as well. And right now, they have officially entered the realm of having failed. Want to know who else did this? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers did it. But they succeeded in their first year. 2 years after that, they couldn't get it done, but it's still a success because they have a Lombardi. But now they need to enter their 2-year period of being trash. If that ain't already start technically, if you think about it. They might already been in year 1 right here, but they got 2 more years when I look at their books. But they got the ring. See, it's rare. See, it's a successful approach, but you don't want to fail because you just wasted a lot of time, resources, and everything. But it can be done. But my point to you all, well, the Rams did it last year as well. The Rams did it last year, ladies and gentlemen. And it was a success. And look at them the very next year. People don't think about the small pieces that they lost on that team. They just look at the big names that came back, but all the intermediate pieces they had to lose because they couldn't afford them anymore. But they got the ring. So it doesn't matter. So the Rams understand they may not be as good for the next 2 years. That's 4 teams right now, right there that I just listed. 5. I showed you those Eagles, what they did. I told you the Bucks, what they just did. The Rams, the Saints, and the Cowboys. And I promise you, if I really think, I'll probably get 1 or 2 more, but it ain't coming at the top of my head right now. But my point is, you have about 5 teams every year taking that approach. So if you're one of those regular teams building it the right way, not over, you see, how do you compete with those 5 teams? Not to mention, when those 5 teams do that, they do get in the playoffs every year. They're guaranteed playoffs because the talent is going to take them to the playoffs. When Drew Brees and them did it, they went to the playoffs every year they did. Dallas start going every year the last 2. And Dallas might have 1 more year where they try to crack at it, but I'm telling you, that's when they're going to enter Saints territory if they do it again. But they all go to the playoffs. So I want to paint this picture for y'all today to help you understand it's hard for the normal teams building the right way, trying to build the old school NFL team. This is what I'm trying to get across to y'all. And I'm going to show y'all today that this is no longer the same NFL 15 plus years ago. So we got to stop thinking like it is when you're building your team. So that's 5 teams every year that does that. Next year, there'll be 2 or 3 more, and some of them will go in purgatory and start their rebuild, right? But you got 27 teams left now. But all 5 of those teams usually make the playoffs every year, right? So let's keep going. Let me do the math here. 32 teams, 14 playoff spots. I'm going to show y'all something. So out of 32 teams, 5 of them go for broke, leaving 27 left, okay? And all 5 of those make the playoffs typically. Leaving 9 spots left. All right. That's one thing, okay? So you got 27 teams left that ain't doing that and 9 playoff spots left because those teams always get in the playoffs because they got more money on their roster going up against you, right? Now let's go with a new group of teams and what they're doing in today's world. It's called the rookie quarterback contract and putting everything around them. Okay? Now watch this. You have about 12 to 14 teams every year that have a quarterback on a rookie contract. Okay? Now, out of those 12 to 14 teams, about 6 to 9 of them are trying to put everything around their young quarterback. So, forget the 12 to 14 because all of them ain't doing what they supposed to do. Herbert, his rookie year, they ain't had nothing on the defense. You see what I'm saying? Trevor Lawrence last year didn't have nothing around them, but eventually they all get there. And what I'm trying to tell you is every year, 6 to 9 rookie deal quarterbacks make the playoffs. Let's go with this year. Let's count them. Y'all help me. How many quarterbacks on a rookie deal, including fifth-year option, because it's still at a much discounted price, made the playoffs? Miami Dolphins. Whether you want to count Tua or Skylar, it doesn't matter. We ain't spending money. That's the point of it, the money that's being spent in the room. Miami Dolphins made the playoffs. Herbert, Burrow. Last year for Josh Allen. This was the last one. Mahomes don't count this time, and we're going to talk about that third category later. That's 4, right? Trevor Lawrence, that's 5. The 49ers situation is 6. Any more? Let's see. Just making sure I don't lose anybody. Minnesota don't count. Dallas don't count. Brady don't count, even though his is a different anomaly because he takes less. I didn't say Hurts yet. Geno made it. Did they make the playoffs? Did Geno make the playoffs? I said Burrow. Daniel Jones, thank you. Y'all keep them coming. Yep, Daniel Jones. Baltimore Ravens, thank you. Gosh, we're at 8, and I'm not counting Geno. How much was Geno making this year? Technically, you don't count him because he's not that situation, but when you look at the money he made, how much? Let me look that up real quick. I'm not going to count him anyway, but I am going to sit him to the side. Because he factors in if he's making less than $15 million. Give me a second. Geno Smith contract. Oh my God, Lord Jesus. Are you kidding me? By default, I have to count him. He only made $3.5 million this year. Jeez. I mean, by default, I got to count him. But y'all get my point. Rookie deal. You see what I'm saying? Technically, I wouldn't count him, but that team is operating off of a rookie deal. I don't know why they keep popping up. So I think we can stop right there. But that's 9. That's 9. If we go back to last year, hold on, let me just put this down. That's 9 rookie deals made it. Ain't that crazy though, y'all? You see what I'm saying? Hold on, let's look at the rookie deals on the outside that didn't get in. Let's count them real quick. How many quarterbacks on a rookie deal that didn't get in? Pittsburgh, the Jets, the Patriots. Kyler, because his money don't kick in the next year. Because my 9 to 14 might even be bigger. Tennessee ain't in that situation. The Raiders not in that situation. Chicago. Atlanta not in that situation. Houston. Already did Raiders. We're at 6 right now. I did the Texans just now, Houston. I think that's about it. That's about it. I already did Jets. We got 6. I already did the Bears. I already did them. We got 6. Titans don't qualify. Tannehill making $30 million. All right. So that's 6 teams. So technically, instead of my estimation of 12 to 14, 6 plus 9, that's 15 teams on rookie deals. And going forward, it's going to be like that. Half the league almost. But majority of those 9 out of 15, make the playoffs. Now, to kind of solidify my argument, because I want to reach a number around 7, I have to look up 2021 playoff bracket, because I want to know how many guys on the rookie deal that year even made the playoffs. That was Mahomes' last qualifying year. He made it. Josh Allen made it. Who was the Colts quarterback last year? It was a veteran, right? I believe so. It was Wentz, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong. Pittsburgh last year, I believe Ben's last year. The Browns had Baker on his, I believe, final year of the contract. So him. Tennessee doesn't qualify. Baltimore qualifies. Green Bay doesn't qualify. The Saints. Who was the Saints starting quarterback last year? I mean, the year before last. Was Breeze still there? I already said Mahomes. Was Breeze still there? Not this year that just passed, but the year before. I just don't remember. Something making me feel like they did it by committee with Taysom Hill and all of those guys. Y'all educate me in the comment section. Educate me in. Yeah, Breeze. Okay, Breeze was there. I thought it was like Jameis Winston or something the year before this one. You sure? Breeze is only 1 year removed? I thought it was 2 years. Breeze was 2020, and I'm talking about 2021. So they were getting cheap quarterback play, right? Seahawks, Russell, so no. Rams, no. Washington, wasn't that like Heineke or something like that? They were getting the young quarterback playing the Bucs. So 6 last year. 6 rookie deals last year. So my thing is, I want to come to around, let's just say on the safe side, 7 rookie contracts get in the playoffs every year. 7 rookie contracts get in the playoffs every year. That's what we're going to paint. That's the picture we're going to paint right now. We got a 9, we got a 6. And if I go back another year, it's probably somewhere in the same range. Let's just say 7 and be conservative in that regards. So with that being said, we had 32 teams. 5 of them go for broke. Oh, I hit my cup down. Y'all give me a second. All right, cool. 5 of them go for broke. All right. 7 of them rookie deal. No. Let me back up. We actually counted 15. Let's just say 13 quarterbacks a year on a rookie deal. 13 quarterbacks on a rookie deal. That leaves 14 teams left. And out of them 13 rookie deals, 7 of them make playoffs. All right. And that leaves 2 playoff spots left. All right. TD water broke. Yeah, I know I dropped it and I'm gonna have to clean that up. So somebody said Mac Jones, TD. Dang, I didn't say the Patriots. Oh, excuse me. Maybe I have the wrong year on this bracket. Give me a second. Y'all forgive me. Maybe I had the wrong year. My bad. I did have the wrong year. Let's go back and count. Cincinnati. Raiders don't qualify. Buffalo, New England, Kansas City. Hold on. Hold on. Kansas City had the Tennessee had the number 1 seed, so they were on the bye. So who did Kansas City play? Why isn't it showing on here? It's cut off. Oh, Pittsburgh, but that was Ben. Okay. And on the other side, Rams, Cardinals. That was Dak's last year of rookie money. San Francisco, Jimmy G was played fairly, so that doesn't qualify. Tampa and Philly. So 7. We thought it was 6, so it's 7. So it's actually 7. So we got a 9 and we got a 7. Let's even it out to 8 then. My bad. Let's even it out to 8. Thank you for saying Mac Jones and correcting me. All right. All right. 13 teams. Well, that's 4. So that's 14 rookie deals. So this year was 15 rookie deals. Last year was 14 rookie deals. You got 8 of them make the playoffs, leaving 1 playoff spot left. Okay, that's a fair way of putting it. Appreciate y'all correcting that because it does matter with what I'm trying to show y'all. So I really hope y'all are following me so far and nobody's left behind because, some people get left behind and then they bash me. What in the heck is he talking about? And if you came in late, you're probably like, what the heck is he talking about? You might want to start the stream from the beginning because I'm presenting to you data, statistics, facts, and historical data to help you understand this is a new NFL and we need to come to grips with that and understand what we are dealing with. Now, let me give you the rundown one last time. 32 teams in the NFL, only 14 playoff spots. Every year, 5 teams go for broke. You just cannot compete with them. They are going to have a high-paid roster because they know they're going to suck in the future, but they're willing to do that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do because typically it's successful at like almost a 40% rate at this point. It has like a 40% success rate, and that is a better success rate than just we'll talk about it. Okay? All 5 of them teams typically make the playoffs. All right? Now, that leaves 27 teams left and 9 spots in the playoffs left. But 14 teams are on rookie deals, which allows them to also have a lot of talent because they're not paying a quarterback 40, 45, 50 million. But about 8 out of every 15 teams make the playoffs every year that's on a rookie deal, including the 5th-year option, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. They make the playoffs. That leaves 13 teams fighting for 1 playoff spot. That leaves 13 teams fighting for 1 playoff spot. Now, what are these 13 teams out here doing? What are these 13 teams out here doing? You ain't got a quarterback on a rookie deal. You're doing it the right way. You ain't overbearing your cap. So what are some of the teams that we didn't name in all of this rookie deal stuff and going for broke? What are some of the teams we didn't name? Now watch this. We didn't name Minnesota. They go to the playoffs almost every year, but they just can't compete with the rookie deal team and or the go for broke team. They're a good freaking team. They built it the right way. But they, at the end of the day, when they get in the playoffs, they tend to just be outmatched. Outmatched. Another team, the Raiders, same thing. Good quarterback, but he making big money. Outmatched. See, I'm telling y'all, the Vikings continue to try to do it the right way. Around that $40 million contract, $45 million or whatever. They keep trying to do it the right way. But how do you compete? And having a first round exit to prove that to y'all. How do you compete? The Browns, that's a different story. It's hard to say with them because of that quarterback situation this year. But once again, you're going to have to be Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, in order to get that last spot. You see, what I'm trying to say is them 13 teams fighting for one freaking spot, y'all. Them 13 teams fighting for one spot. Now, who did get in the playoffs? Brady and them got in the playoffs as a product of a weak division. The Vikings got into the playoffs, but what ended up happening? Outmatched. Who else got into the playoffs that don't fit the rookie stigma or going for broke? What other teams, y'all, got in the playoffs that doesn't fit the profile of going for broke and rookie deal? I keep trying to search it. What other team made it? The Cowboys, and look what happened. At the end of the day, you get outmatched. Remember, we put the Seahawks in that category because Geno Smith only making 3.5. So they're actually living out that rookie deal benefit, even though it's not a rookie. Does that make sense? Because Geno Smith ain't going to be 3.5 million next year on the team, is he? Did his value not go up this year? You see what I'm saying? They benefited off of a 1-year, $3.5 million deal. So what team made the playoffs that doesn't fit that profile that we just talked about? We got the Vikings. We got again, Seattle don't count, y'all. I keep telling y'all that. And again, to be honest with you, Tampa don't count either because Tom Brady was like a $10 million cap hit. You got to understand how he always structures his deals for them. The Chiefs, this is why I'm telling you, you got to be Mahomes. That's why I said that about Deshaun Watson. You got to be Mahomes to get the Browns in the playoffs. Russell Wilson going to have to be Mahomes to get the Broncos. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Why do y'all think some of these teams suck so much? Denver wasn't no bad team, but you can't compete against most of the AFC with these rookie quarterbacks you playing against because their rosters are loaded. Derek Carr getting real money. You couldn't compete this year because you're going against loaded rosters. We just think that these teams fell off and they trash. That's not necessarily the case. These teams didn't just fall off and they trash. They just actually got beat every week. How do you compete with the Bengals when they got a top receiver and a top quarterback on a rookie deal? Watch this, y'all. Y'all know everything I stream, I try to bring some type of receipts in my messaging. I've been telling y'all this forever. Now listen to a general manager himself.
I'm thinking about those receivers. Do you see anything from them that suggests that's a trend that we them? Anything that Cincinnati does, I'm thinking about those receivers. Do you see anything from them that suggests that's a trend that we need to kind of adapt to moving forward in order to close that?
No, they have a good team. I mean, they right now are on the advantage of a rookie quarterback contract. And, they had some lean years and without getting too much into their build. And, I don't want to suck bad enough to have to get Jamar Chase. Like, he's a heck of a talent. I'd love to have him, but you gotta go through some lean years to do that. And, they were able to get Burrow 1, and I don't remember where Chase was drafted, but it was pretty high. And those guys are on their rookie deals. We're paying Stephon Diggs a pretty hefty number. We're paying Josh Allen a pretty hefty number. So there is the constraints of the cap, but they have a really good team, and they got some good young players.
I've been telling y'all this for years now. These general managers know this, and let me tell y'all something. That's why Buffalo been competing. They're not getting it done, but that's why they've been competing for Super Bowls every year, because their general manager knew this a long time ago, and he got to take advantage of Josh Allen on a rookie deal. Now he knows what's about to happen in Buffalo. He knows what's about to go down. Josh Allen money about to kick in. Stephon Diggs, we paying a hefty tag. Because the question they asked him, is there something you can take from the Bengals and how they built and stuff like that? And he told y'all the reason why they so good is because they got more value on their roster because of rookie deals. If you played every player on the Bengals what they're actually worth, and there was no such thing as a rookie deal, there would be 5 to 7 great players on that roster that would not be there because they couldn't afford them. But since you're paying Burrow 35 to 40 million less than what he will be getting, you can have all those guys. But he also said another thing that's very interesting. Teams that have been in purgatory get that luxury. And we don't want to suck so bad that we get that luxury. And that's where he may need to start to rethink his thought process for the future. Because what he's basically saying, he don't want to suck that bad. They rather try to compete every year, which means they're about to end up being one of those 13 teams trying to make the 1 or 2 playoff spots available. And it's going to get harder and harder for them. But with the guy like Josh Allen and continuing to pay Stephon Diggs, it's just like the Dallas Cowboys. You might get in, but the same result is inevitable. Getting over the hump for a team like that is going to take luck. Like, oh, you play the Chiefs the next week and, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL the week before. You play the Bengals and, Burrow fractured his ribs and can't go. That's the only way those 1 or 2 out of 13 teams get over the hump in the playoffs, because it's going to take a little luck. It's going to take a little luck. But I've been telling y'all this. You got to start considering this stuff. Stop thinking it's just X and O's on the field. The Bengals ain't X and O'ing everybody. They bullying everybody because they got a better roster than 90% of the NFL, because some of their very best players are still on rookie contracts. The best of the best that they have are on rookie deals. But how long does that last? That's why it's a window. So Buffalo was blessed to take advantage of Josh Allen's year 3 window, year 4 window, and now year 5 window. And now it will come to an end. They still may be competitive enough to just get in, but they'll have those first and second round exits because they got to figure out a way to get cheap in some area, but get the same production. It's the only way to get out of it, which requires great drafting. And also, it ain't just great drafting. It requires player development. This is where, do you really have the coaching staff? Do you really have the scouts? This game is bigger than X's and O's, y'all. This is why some people, when I argue with them, you're not looking at the bigger picture. You're just looking at the now, and you're looking at your feelings and loving on players. Stop loving these players. Stop loving these players. So you want the formula to be great in the NFL as an organization? Let me break it down to you. You have to be one of the best teams in the NFL, top 5 to 10. You could be 10th, but that's still good. A top 10 team in drafting. And nobody got draft grades like who's the best drafting teams. Somebody need to work on that because that's some good data. You got to be a top 10 team in drafting. That's number one. Number two, you have to have a coaching staff that knows how to develop talent. If every year you ain't got 1 to 2, no, screw that. If every year you ain't got 2 players on your roster that you have taken from being a backup to a starter and legitimate top quartile starter, then you ain't developing nobody. If you ain't got at least 2 players on your roster that were a 4th round pick or later or undrafted that the next year you could say they could have been taken in the 1st round if we knew what we knew now. If you ain't developing at least 2 of them a year, you ain't got no coaching staff. You ain't got no coaching staff. I'm sorry. And let me reframe that. Instead of saying they could have went in the 1st round if we knew what we knew now, 1st or 2nd, because that's still good talent, right? So drafting well, which requires your scouting team, a great scout team that goes under the umbrella of drafting well, player development, which is reflection of your coaching staff, okay? A general manager that sees the big picture just like the Buffalo Bills one and thinking that way. See, he's not sitting here saying that the X's and O's beat them. He knows, and don't get me wrong, there was some X's and O's that was a problem in that game, but I'm sorry. Buffalo could have eliminated a lot of their mistakes and still lost. Okay? So you need a general manager to marry the two, the scouting and development with the staff, have the right coaches, right? And then you need to have a, good game plan. Like your coach has to have a great game plan every week. Like just great coaches. Screw the top 5 things, the top 3. The top 3, scouting, coaching, drafting, and general manager that knows how to work and understands the dynamic of the NFL that we're in today's world. So I wanted to break that down first. The window for Miami is closing. Look at what the Chiefs did. They took advantage of Patrick Mahomes' entire window. 5 straight years of a window, having one of the most competitive teams and talent to surround him. And he was good. And look at the results for the 5 years of his rookie deal. Same thing happened with Russell Wilson. Am I wrong, y'all? Look at what they did for Russell Wilson the entire tenure of his rookie deal. It was, when you think about it, outside of individual accolades, it seems like Russell Wilson and Mahomes kind of had the same resume in that rookie stretch. Now, I'm not talking about statistical resume, but success resume. You see, they took advantage of the whole thing. Patrick Mahomes took a whole step forward because this is the first year they didn't take advantage of it. And look at him. He's going to be one of the greatest of all time now. I can firmly say that. You just went to the 35 million and you still out here getting number one seeds. And now you're in an AFC championship, whether you lose or not, you're still doing it off of your rookie deal. That's when you know you got a guy. That's when you know you got a guy. Once you start doing it off your rookie deal, that's when you know you got a guy. I know everybody said, oh, you should have been knew that about Mahomes. I did, but I'm not going to say it because I know the science of this league. Let's see, because if he fell on his face this year, what would everybody have said? And we have evidence. Russell Wilson.
Cincinnati does, I'm thinking about those receivers, that type of use.
My bad, I hit the button. Russell Wilson is your proof. Since Russell Wilson's rookie deal, soon as he got off that option, and that money kicked in, we've had 8 years of first round exits at best, if they even made it. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, Chiefs took advantage of that rookie deal. Seahawks took advantage of that rookie deal. The Bengals are on their way to taking advantage of that rookie deal. Chargers haven't taken advantage of the rookie deal. If you think about it, the Chargers are in the same situation we're in when it comes to taking advantage of a rookie deal. Here we are about to go into year 4 and have resulted no fruits from having a quarterback on a rookie deal. And that means that you either doesn't have the right quarterback or the organization is just terrible putting the talent around them. Terrible. The talent we have now, why couldn't we afford to do that 2 years ago when he was a rookie? Why didn't we go to, and don't tell me no Brian Flores. This is Chris Greer's responsibility. Here's why. Because they wanted to invest in all those other rookies, and we missed Austin Jackson. I'm sorry, even if he could end up being a good tackle, you missed. Noah Igbenogany, you missed. Let's not make this all about Tua. This is not just all about Tua, because obviously he would have had a lot more success had we brought in the right personnel since he was a rookie. He has his share of the blame, but at the same token, it ain't just him. We could have been hid his flaws. But our drafting, we missed. Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany, overpaying money on guys like Mike Gesicki, continuing to go with guys like Jakeem Grant, continuing to go with veterans like Devontae Parker. We've been missing. As much as y'all love him, but I'm sorry. You gave Jerome Baker big money during the rookie deal Tua era. These are failures. You missed. Eichenberg, you missed. Hunter Long, you missed. And the way you treated Tyndall his rookie season, you might have missed. I'm sorry. A lot of y'all may not want to hear that, but come on. For this man not to get small packages, you're basically telling everybody if he ain't better than Landon Roberts, Jerome Baker, and all them other guys, you might have missed. Then you kept on going. Mostert, the Gaskins of the world, the Ahmeds, and these guys aren't bad, but I'm sorry, all that money we have, so you could spend it this year? We had the same money the years before. Jared Doakes, you miss. Larnell Coleman, you missed. Jalen Phillips, I'm hoping you didn't miss, but why did he digress this year? Nobody talking about that. The man had like 4 less sacks this year. Giving Hogba all this money? You missed. We ain't heard from Bradley Chubb other than the sack fumble in the playoffs. I hope you didn't miss. But we could have done a lot of this his rookie and sophomore year, but we didn't. Chiefs were loaded, ready for Mahomes right away. Bengals, now they had their flaws, but they still had a lot more around right away. So I'm sorry, Chris Greer has made some really bad decisions. Let's just call it what it is. Yeah, Zakondre White, right? And I'm not really talking about the Cedric Wilsons and Sherfields. I'm not talking about the guys from just this year. You know, that was this year. I understand. Well, you missed on some of them too, because Cedric Wilson, I still don't understand that one. $8 million. We've been making some dumb decisions, y'all. We've been making some dumb decisions around Tua. And again, y'all know me. I'm trying to be as fair as I can. Tua has his faults as well, but I promise you, we may have not have known about all his faults had it not been for all he misses. Oh, boy. Seven this year, Nando. Maybe I misspoke. I know he went down, though. Maybe I misspoke on Jalen Phillips. And he led the team in sacks, right? Which tells you the whole D-line is a miss if you're leading sack guys 7. Look at all the money we have on the D-line. So, therefore, where is your double-digit sack man to lead the way? All I'm saying to y'all is this. The window is closing. This is what we need to start talking about. This is why I get nervous. And I'm going to be honest, this conversation is actually favorable for Tua. This conversation is like, we didn't even do what we were supposed to do to take advantage of his contract. We didn't even do what we could do to take advantage of his contract and even hide even more of his flaws and let him develop so we never knew they possibly existed. Because some of these guys, like Mahomes probably has some flaws, but look at that team around him. You may have never noticed them. And now that they don't have as much around him, he had 4 or 5 years to develop it. Now he's good, solid at it, and you never knew it was a flaw. You never even knew it was a flaw. That's real protection for your rookie quarterback. I didn't see a super chat. Let me go back up. My bad if I missed your super chat. Somebody telling me you read it. My bad. I didn't see. I'm sorry. I'm just cooking right now, man. TD, if you was Bears, would you trade that first or take a rookie QB? I was against it, but the more I thought about it, more it made sense with $100 million in cap. See, I'm glad you asked that. G Money just gave us the perfect example of what I'm talking about. Who's the Bears quarterback? Fields, right? He out here making miracles happen with his legs. He also, he makes some throws here and there. But, he ain't popping off like Mahomes and all of that, right? But he ain't no bum. He ain't trash. So here's another team that since they don't know about their quarterback, they're going to play it safe from the beginning. What they supposed to do, because you drafted them, you believed in them then, if you better believe in them now. So what they supposed to do is they supposed to take that $100 million, go buy the best defense the NFL can buy, because we torched them. Go buy the best defense the NFL can buy. Take that first round pick, number 1 overall. Go get you 3 more firsts. And take those 3 firsts and go get that man, make sure he got an O-line and 1 or 2 weapons. And you build from there. Don't wait, do it methodically, and wait for 2 years from now to either start doing it or looking for another quarterback. Let's see what he looked like with everything around him. Because we know what he looked like without everything around him. And at least he wasn't a train wreck without everything around him. He was not a train wreck without everything around him. Now, go load up around him right away. Let's see the best version of him when you stop trying to put everything on his plate. You got to stop putting everything on these young guys' plate. Go get them everything now. And when you get him everything now, because you got the money and you got the draft capital, when you get him everything now you can see he got everything. This is what's really wrong with him right here, right there. Then you ask yourself, is it skill or will? Is it something that can be coached up, or is it just, hey, ain't it, that'll take too long to develop? Now you can start making those decisions. Now you can start making those decisions. And let's not forget, you're not going to hit every time on quarterback. What some of y'all need to realize, hitting on a quarterback is like a 5% rate, 1 out of every 20. But the other 95%, it don't mean they can't win a Super Bowl if you do right by around them. I personally believe about 1 out of every 4 quarterbacks could win a Super Bowl in the right situation. One out of every 4 quarterbacks could win a Super Bowl in the right situation. That still ain't good odds, but let's just call it what it is. This quarterback situation, this quarterback game out here is tough. It's tough to, first of all, find the guy. Second off, if you didn't find the guy, do you have the guy that if you do everything, you can figure it out holistically as an organization how to win? It can be done, but it's tough. It's tough. Tua can win a Super Bowl if we fix the bad turnovers. It's tough for Tua, man. It's tough because deep down inside, can Tua win a Super Bowl? For me, if we did it right from the beginning, yes. Now, let me tell y'all why I don't think we have a shot with him. I'm trying to tell y'all it ain't so much of him, but time has probably ran out. And let me tell you why I say this. This is why I say if we would have did it right in the beginning. So right now with Tua, 2 years left in the window, right? Part of the problem with our roster, like, let me tell you something. If we had a top 5 defense and we had a top 10 run game, right? And a top 5 O-line, we could do it with Tua. That is San Francisco to the core. That's exactly what it is. We could do it with Tua. But we can't have a top 5 defense anymore. I'm going to explain to y'all why. We maybe can have a top 10 run game, but it's going to be real hard. And I'm going to tell you why in a second. We could have a top 5 O-line. That's something we can have. But the problem is you would need all 3 of those. That's the issue we're in now. Because we got like 6 bad contracts on this roster that will never allow us for the next 3 years to have all 3 of those together. And guess what happens in 3 years? Tua got to get paid, and now it's all out of whack. That's the issue I have. We got about 6 contracts on this roster right now that are overpaid that will not allow us to have those 3 things like San Francisco. Because we missed. All them people we named about 10 minutes ago that we missed on, San Francisco got dogs in them positions. San Francisco got dogs in all them positions. That's the issue. Not only are there bad contracts, but here's a part of the problem. Any scenario you make up, Xavier Howard would be included on the team. He's starting to decline. You see, now you also got certain players that might be on the decline. They're starting that trend. The Dolphins trying to go for a Super Bowl, I feel like it's going to be a constant balance beam for the next 2 to 3 years. And then your quarterback get his money, then it's all out of whack. And then all the stars are going to be gone. And you got to hope the new stars are just as good as them. But remember, the new stars are playing with the current ones right now. So when the new ones become the current, we got to hit on the new ones that ain't even here yet. And we already behind when it comes to draft capital. San Francisco would have made the title game with any QB. I'm not going to say any QB because Zach Wilson, that wouldn't happen. So not any, but I get your point, T-Rich. But that's also the point that I'm trying to make. Why would they have made it with any comparable QB? It got to be competent, average at best, right? Why would they have made it? Because they got one of the best O-lines, they got one of the best run games, and they got one of the best defenses. And they didn't miss. We got too many misses in the last 3 years. Too many overpaid contracts. And now we're starting to get aging players that's their performance is declining. Just a bad recipe all around. Just a bad recipe. You can fix one area, but then you're missing the other. Like, we could go out in free agency and go get the best O-line. That still ain't going to take care of y'all. We might get Vic Fangio. That ain't guaranteeing we going to be a top 10 defense. Let's sit here and act like Vic Fangio just go automatically. No, he got to come in, bring his game plan, his style, his terminology, and he got to find his personnel. Bringing a new DC in is a rebuild of the defense. It is rare, unless you already run that type of system, it is rare to just automatically just night and day it. And don't get me wrong, it's possible, but let's stop sitting here acting like bringing Vic Fangio in is going to guarantee it. He ain't going to turn the clock around for Xavier Howard. That ain't gonna guarantee Ogba gonna come back healthy and put up his last year, the year before numbers. Don't guarantee that. There are no guarantees. But we sitting here living in a world acting like we're too far behind to just think we're going from 26 to 5. 13th would be a huge, phenomenal accomplishment. But at the same token, it still ain't the top 5 we talking about we're going to need. 8th, oh, that's huge. But you just came up short because it still ain't the top 5. It still ain't San Francisco. You're still not going to beat San Francisco. Vic Fangio going to come here. And Vic Fangio going to say, oh, hell no, I need some linebackers. Maybe I need to go get some that I got to develop, but I'm going to need about two years to do that. But I need some linebackers. Well, you can't make the ones we got something. Y'all just trying to cut corners and save money. If you really think about it, outside of Jerome Baker, this team has been able to overspend in all them other areas because they're cheap at the linebacker position. They keep getting these guys that ain't terrible, but they ain't no difference makers. They'll make a play here and there, and then they'll get torched 2 times as much. Let's call it what it is. We have saved money for the last 3 years on linebackers outside of Baker, which is a ridiculous contract. That's the area we cut corners, just like running back. Those are the 2 areas we've cut corners. And go look at the greatest defenses. That's where they balling. Linebackers in today's NFL needs to be recognized as the most valuable position because they're the ones between both the run and the pass. And I'm going to be honest, I would value a linebacker over a corner now. See what the boys in San Francisco doing? Yeah, they got a good secondary, but I promise you that linebacking core is what making them all. Let me tell you something. I realized this 4 years ago. I never realized this a day in my life. It's when I started to realize the value of a linebacker, right? I watch, I don't know if y'all ever recognize this, but I watch a Dolphins game. And I watch us on defense against other teams. And everything is so nonchalant. A running back running through the hole. We're chasing them. We're trying to bring them down. We get them down. You know, pass across the middle, come up, make the tackle. Okay, you know, everything is just so normal and regular. But, you know, okay, our linebackers, they making stops. Are they? They ain't really stops, but they making stops, right? Our linebackers are making stops. But then, and this happened 4 years ago, I'll never forget, I'm watching the Cowboys game and I'm looking at their linebackers, and I watch the Saints game and I'm looking at their linebackers. I'm watching Pittsburgh and I'm looking at their linebackers, and I'm watching like certain teams, and I'm like, God, it's night and day. These guys are attacking. How did he get out there so fast? Man, he took the perfect angle. Man, he moved the offensive lineman and got explosive linebackers. Like, I'm like, dang, these guys are out here making it tough. Like, I'm so used to nonchalant. They got 4 yards, we make the tackle. These guys are like, you ain't getting these four. -1. You got 1 on me, but they're like, out in the flat, dang, the linebacker cleared that kind of space. And I just kept looking at the Dolphins and looking at the Saints and the Cowboys and how greedy their linebackers are. And I'm just like, it ain't even close. What do we have? What do we have? Something's wrong. Is it the scheme? And I said, heck no. Because even today, I see Jerome Baker at the second level. The handoff will be coming. You know how many times I see a Dolphins linebacker, instead of trying to attack where the running back is going to be or take a lane, it's almost like they're like, a guard is pulling and he's coming to me and the running back going out. Instead of saying, let me beat this guard to this edge, they go straight to the guard. I've seen it. Say it's a toss coming around. And the linebacker's like, I see him going around. Let me take an angle. But there's a pulling guard trying to come to me now. And they got enough room to just go. These fools will hesitate like they go and see the guard and engage the guard. Like, who engages a lineman? It's the lineman's job to engage you, and if he misses, you can make the play. But we go to the lineman. And I'll be watching this on film, and I'll be like, what? Bro, he ain't got the ball. He ain't got the freaking ball. You know what? I'm glad you're bringing that up. Sky's the limit, and y'all in the comment section. You know what, boy? Don't play with me today. I'm about to ask y'all a question. Dolphin fans, do not play with me today. Put your freaking football cap on. Even though I'm asking for your opinion better be the same as mine. Don't play with me today. I'm about to ask you a question. Don't play with me today. Don't be coming with all that fandom crap. Who would have been more valuable on this team? Jalen Waddle or Micah Parsons? Who would have been more valuable on this team? Jalen Waddle or Micah Parsons? And the messed up part about all of this is exactly what I'm talking about with Chris Grier. This is exactly what I'm talking about with Chris Grier. You know why? How much Micah Parsons making right now? How much is Parsons making right now? And how much are you paying Waddle? I mean, no, not Waddle. How much are you paying Bradley Chubb? I gotta bring this up, y'all. I gotta bring this up. Who did we draft after Jalen Waddle? Who did we draft after Jalen Waddle? I gotta bring it up. I'm sorry. It's a requirement. I don't sugarcoat over here. You see, I'm showing y'all the brain of Chris Grier. Chris Grier had a plan. I got to go get a top receiver for my quarterback, and I have to get me some pass rush. He prioritized receiver over pass rush. Not what players were available. Not what players were available. Here's the funny part about this. We all knew we were going to get the receiver. We all knew we were going to get the receiver. That's why we didn't even care nor think about it, because we had all these first round picks. But let me ask y'all a question. Did we not already know Parsons was going to be a dog in this league? Everybody knew it. Everybody knew that Parsons was going to be a dog in this league. But we also knew that Waddle was going to be a dog in this league. But which position is more valuable in the NFL? A wide receiver or a defensive end? Which position is of more importance in the NFL? That puts you in the mind of Greer. And this is why I be feeling like he was already in bed with Alabama since Tua. Just thinking about it right now. Having Micah Parsons. Yeah, they got Parsons at 12, but I would have took him at 6. Parsons isn't a defensive end. That's the point, though. He was all of it. He's the flex. He's the outside linebacker that rushes the quarterback. He's the Jalen Phillips you keep searching for. He's the money you gave Ogba and you would have had it for half the price. And let me tell you what's funny about it. Micah Parsons is so impactful that we wouldn't have re-signed Ogba. After you would have saw what he did his rookie year, you would not have re-signed Ogba. There goes $16 million. You would not have went and got Bradley Chubb. There go another. That's about over $30 million. And what you think we could have did with that $30 million? Because Michael Parsons himself would have gave us both of their production anyway. Not to mention you would have still had the 16th overall pick. And maybe you would have went Jalen Phillips or you would have took the next available wide receiver. TD, you full of it. Yeah, I am. Appreciate you listening. But TD, Micah didn't play end. Who's to say y'all put him at edge? The Cowboys had to because Lawrence got hurt, even though he was good off the edge at PSU. But that was just Cowboys mismanagement. Flores would have had him right there in the same role as Jalen Phillips. That's his role. Flores would have had him right there in that role. He would have been on that edge. He would have definitely had been on that edge. No, he would not. Man, what are you talking about? Yes, he would have. And you know what? Let's back up for a second. Even if we didn't put him on the edge, would we not have had the best linebacker in the NFL? However you want to view it, bro. However you want to think about it. I know they would have been sending him to the quarterback. And I know he would have done a 10 times better job than Jerome Baker. See, and I'm glad you said that. I ain't gonna lie. I've been waiting for the last 5 minutes on somebody to say it, and you said it. TD, hindsight is 2020. However, I wanted the Dolphins to pick the right tackle that went to the Lions. Now, hindsight is 2020. But guess what? We out here living in hindsight. The people making the decisions make millions of dollars. Screw that hindsight stuff. There's no accountability in this organization for all the misses that we had. You know how many generational players that we missed on? And even if we hit, it was just a good player. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Waddle is phenomenal, but not generational. He is not on the level of a Michael Parsons and some of these guys out here. He ain't the best wide receiver in the league. He ain't the best at his position. We miss some of the guys who are literally the top 1, 2, or 3 at their whole position. Rookies, veterans, it doesn't matter. Yeah, Waddle going to be amazing, but Waddle every given year probably will never be a top 3 wide receiver. Sorry. But every year of his career, he probably will never be a top 3. He may get that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 range. But every year of his career, there is a high probability he will never be top 3. Micah Parsons, I hear debating with Bosa on who should be the defensive player of the year, which I believe Bosa. Parsons runner-up. No, this ain't got nothing to do with Tua, though. Let's get that straight. It's not just because of Tua. But I'm sorry, he's not better than Chase. He ain't better than the guy on his own team. And he probably going to play another 5 years. 3 with us and 2 with somebody else. He ain't better than Jefferson. And I'm sorry, there are some others. I ain't got time to go up and down lists. And don't forget, he building a resume. He is a good player, but I'm sorry, you starting to be the drop guy. He's starting to show little flaws too. And big moments too, y'all. Big moments. Big moments. I ain't saying they better, but guys like CeeDee Lamb, guys like Devontae Smith have been more consistent. Waddle just have gotten a lot more opportunities and stuff because he's been force-fed since his rookie season. Sean said, why are you so negative? Excuse me, Sean, can you name one thing I said that was negative? Name something I said that's negative. It's people like you that amaze me. You don't kill me. You don't bother me, but you amaze me. I just be wanting to know what goes on in y'all brain, where your brain cells and everything that's working up there equates what I'm saying is negative. But I want to hear the one thing that I said negative. My point exactly. Get out of here. Talk about goodbye, Mr. Negative. My point exactly. Run. Run with your tail between your legs and get out of here because you can't even say it. You can't even name the thing that I said negative. Can't even mention, but you just want to throw it out there. And let me tell you why you throw it out there. Because it hurts your feelings because I said something that goes against what you want to believe. Because it's your feelings that's believing it and not facts. One or two of these facts I spoke is against something that you don't like. And it hurts your feelings. You must be bought a Waddle jersey. Is that what it is? Ain't nothing wrong with you buying a Waddle jersey. Waddle is a phenomenal player. Don't get mad at me because he ain't a top 3 guy. That's probably what it is. You bought a Waddle jersey, didn't you? And what I said triggered you because you want him to be the best in the league. I do too, bro. I want him to be the best in the league as well. But that ain't the reality. Speak and live in reality. So once again, all y'all people that always run your mouth here, talk about you being negative, don't say I'm being negative. Say you just said this and that is negative. Because if you repeat it, you're going to realize, well, technically it's not negative, it's a fact, but I don't like it. I don't like that fact. I don't like that fact. So I view it as negative. No, I don't have to name a positive thing moving forward. Give me something positive to name. Half of you can't even find that, but expect me to. And even if I did, you wouldn't be satisfied. Tua had a better season than he's ever had this year. I say that, you won't recognize that as positive. Because then I'll go on talking about a few more negative things, and well, you never say anything positive. Tua had the best year of his career so far. That's positive. You like that? But real talk, y'all help me out in the comment section though. Let's start talking about some of the positive things that happened with the Miami Dolphins this year. Let's talk about some of the positive things that happened. Now, make sure it's legitimately positive, though. Don't tell me something like Teron Armstead played well. Everybody in Obama know he did and he should have. Let's start talking about some of the positive stuff this year. Y'all help me out because it's hard for me to find many. So let's go, Dolphin fans. Come on, Dolphin fans, dig deep. Now, I bet you coming up with a conundrum in your mind right now, like, what was positive? We got Kohu to replace Noah. Yeah, that was positive. Short, sample size, and I hope it don't end up like many other guys where they ball out for a little bit. Because let me put it like this. Y'all remember when Landon Roberts first came on the scene? Just like Kohu, Landon Roberts, man. Yeah, man, we found something there. This is why I say guys like Kohu, put them in an official role, give them a season, let's see what they do. But he has played well. He has elevated his game to actually be considered a real dude. But here's what I will say. If our team was healthy tomorrow, Byron Jones is back, Nick Needham back, where is Kohu playing? Where is Kohu playing? Christian Wilkins, well, that we're going to exclude that because I've talked about nobody but Christian Wilkins all season and how much of a beast he was. But I am concerned about the money. And I would Laramie Tunsil him if I had the decision. Slot by Needham. Y'all done lost y'all mind. Why you think Chris Greer went out his way to talk about Needham in the press conference and they have plans on bringing him back? Connor Williams to an extent. What's positive about Connor Williams? We already knew he could block. We already knew what he could do. The only difference that could be graded was him snapping the ball this year. And how did that go? So now we're going to take that extent back. But come on, y'all kidding me? You mean to tell me y'all ain't just rattling off? Y'all ain't just rattling off positives? Now remember, I don't consider it a positive if you pay for it. Tyreek Hill had a good season. What I got to talk about that for? You paid for it. That's what you're supposed to get, $30 million. We blocked better than Teron Armstead and Connor Williams. And you already had Hunt. What I got to talk about that for? That ain't a positive. That's status quo. That is status quo. Come on now. I should see y'all rattling off in the comment section these elaborate new things that TD ain't think of that's positive, because obviously I'm just negative. And I refuse to talk about the positive, but TD is literally crying out to y'all right now. I don't know many positives on this team, so help me. Tell me, help me. Hold on, we might have some coming through. I need them. Not many big positives, CD. No elephant in the room. Positives, facts. Hill's season was a step back for him. Nah, I didn't say Hill. I don't think Hill's season was a step back. I think he got more targets than he ever got. He was our entire team on offense, for the most part. We barely ran the ball well, only 4 games. Hill was the offense, and Waddle had a good year, with the exception of drops and fumbles, but he still had a good statistical year. Skylar was a great pick. Yeah, I mean that's positive, but he's still the jury is out. We still got to watch him develop. Now you ain't upset me, Sean. Don't think whenever I'm passionate like that it's personal. It's just certain things that I hear that I like to put passion behind. Trust me, nothing anybody ever says to me, Sean, is like I don't take it personal, bro. I promise I don't. I promise you I don't take it personal. Um, there isn't much positive from this past season. Robert Hunt, TD. Has Robert Hunt not been good for 3 years straight now, y'all? But Robert Hunt, he actually have gotten a little less disciplined. That's something I didn't like with his penalties this year. Robert Hunt has consistently been good. So I don't view it as a positive thing that it's something we already knew he was going to be this year. But it was frustrating that his discipline took a step back with the penalties that he would get. We broke even with more talent, so I don't see the positives. Jones and Hollins were looking like a good duo till Jones got hurt. Well, we knew what Holland was. Jones, that is a good step. I guess I don't talk about it much because he did get hurt, so I would want the full sample size of that connection. That brings me to that conversation about Jordan Poyer liking one of somebody's tweet about joining Javon Holland. I want to get better at every position, so I would be open to it, but at the same token, I don't want it to happen because I think that Brandon Jones has done enough to prove that he belongs to be a starter in this league, and he should be able to develop into a Jordan Poyer, hopefully. But on top of that, Jordan Poyer only liking the tweet. Y'all know why he liked the tweet, right? Because everybody knows when they're free agency, when they're free agent, Miami gonna pay you. You're gonna get more than you would have got anywhere, and it ain't no taxes. We done seen plenty players like subliminal tweets and stuff coming to Miami. We've seen that, and they trying to rob us. So I'm straight. Yeah, overpaying a safety ain't worth it when you already got a Brandon Jones who was holding his own. TDPHINSTALK, what are your thoughts on us interviewing Vic Fangio? No, I ain't got no thoughts. Whoever, let me see who the DC gonna be. I don't get into like I've come to a point, and I'm gonna entertain a little bit of it, but I've come to a point where I don't get into hires. I'll give you my opinion, which I already gave a DC opinion 3-4 streams ago. But let's see, because I've learned doing this for 5 years now. 97 out of 10 times, 9.7 out of 10 times, whoever you're suggesting ain't gonna be it. Your top 5 list ain't gonna be selected. Soon as we fire Flores, everybody's top 5 list, nobody had him on there until he became a candidate. Mike McDaniel. Oh, Mike McDaniel's a candidate. And then some people might have put him on there when Dayball chose New York. So I don't get in the list. Let's see who they hire. Then I'm going to talk about them. That's how I kind of operate now. Who would you want at linebacker? I'm going to give him 2 options, but let's see who they get. Then let's talk about them. Zach Skylar is a beast, bro. Trey Wilkins. I agree. He did take a step back this year, but it was still productive. He was number 6. He was number 3 in the NFL last year. This year he was in the teens, but he was still productive. TD, I didn't mean to upset you, bro. I already read that. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to go through the comments because I'm looking for those positives. I really want, because I ain't gonna lie. I'm telling y'all, I really be looking for them. And I'll be wanting to talk about the positives. Positive is we made the playoffs. I'll take that. See, here's the thing. in my messaging, a lot of, even if you name a positive, there's things that come with it that's going to make it sound negative when you're talking to me. Let me give you an example. We made the playoffs. We all know that's positive, right? But then when I think about it, we made the playoffs. I ain't gonna lie. It was positive, and I was excited. We had a first round. We had Skylar Thompson. I was like, okay, let's see what happened. We were in the game. We almost won, but we didn't. That's a letdown, but it was positive, man. This is the experience you want as a fan, making the playoffs. You want more, but don't get me wrong, Dolphin fans, it was still a good feeling to make it. Now, the way we lost may have hurt bad. And even worse, because it's like, why make it? But let's take that off. But I can't help it. When we say things like, we made the playoffs, that was positive. I can't help look at all the bad decisions we made are haunting me, because it's not that it's a thing of the past. What y'all got to realize, some of our bad decisions are continuing to affect us today. So let me give you an example. We made the playoffs, right? 9-8, we made the playoffs. Dang, Flores went 9-8. Flores went 10-6. And we missed the playoffs. He had better seasons and we missed it. Did we really accomplish something, or were the circumstances? You see, I can't help it, because then we made decisions off of that crap. So last year, finishing 9-8, what if we made the playoffs and won a playoff game? Would we still have fired Flores? I'm just curious, because it would have been that would have been the worst look ever. That would have been 10 times worse. Would we have fired Flores if we made the playoffs last year with that same record and say we even won a game? Would we have fired him? Anybody? What's your thoughts on that? Would you? Would we have? Somebody said positive. Mike can actually call plays. I wonder if we didn't have Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, Tyreek Hill, Sherfield. I wonder if he would have been able to call plays any better. Because if it was just play calling, then we didn't need to go get those guys. See, this is where I'm at. Mike actually knows how to call plays. He called 10 of the same plays the whole season. And if we would have had Armstead and Tua had time under Flores, if we would have had Tyreek Hill, because y'all said this O-line sucked, what is he supposed to do? So if Flores had the O-line, well, these receivers ain't getting separation, what are he supposed to do? He had Tyreek Hill. Y'all basically saying Tua would have been better under Flores, and then y'all have been saying, oh, Flores calls good plays. No, y'all, it's so simple. That's a simple approach. Y'all only like the play calling when it worked. Every loss we suffered this year, I heard, man, McDaniel need to get his act together. I don't really like the play call. Every loss we suffered, with the exception of Green Bay, Tua just did that on his own. Every loss we had, I heard people turning on Mike McDaniel. Did y'all notice that? He was just the guru, because I was teasing y'all about it on this channel. Why y'all getting mad at Mike McDaniel? Why everybody on Twitter that's been praising him, calling the guru, starting to get mad and say he blowing it, his coaching, and he ain't calling good plays. Oh, so when things going well, he's an excellent play caller. When they not, he's not. You see, that's why I don't subscribe to that crap of, oh, he called plays well. No, what we were doing was working, so you felt they were well. Then we ran into great defenses when we were calling the same plays, and they were getting shut down. But I will give him this. He does call good plays, because in some of those games we got shut down, I saw his adjustments. Y'all didn't see them. Y'all went on to talk about, oh, Mike McDaniel ain't make no adjustments against the Chargers. Oh, no, I saw the adjustment. Oh, he stopped running the ball. No, he ran the ball in the second half on almost every first down. It ain't his fault we got -1 or 2 yards and you had to pass. See, we have a game where we run the ball on first down, we get 8 yards. We run it on second down, we get 6, first down. Tua makes a nice pass for 13. Then we run the ball on first down and get 5. And we run the ball on second down and get 13. Yeah, we running that rock. Tua makes a nice pass and we get a first down. Oh, we running the ball well. McDaniel calling running plays. And then on first down, he get -2 yards. And then he throw it Tua. And he throw again and we punt. Why isn't he running the ball? What are you talking about? The situation. Then the next drive, maybe he want to hit him with a play action on first down because he been running on first down all day. We missed that first down. He run on second down and get 2 yards. Third down is 3rd and 8. We pass and miss and we punt. Man, he needs to run the rock. You get trapped on whenever we do run the ball well against a scrub defense and we get 8 yards a chunk. And then when somebody's shutting us down and we can't run the ball and he adjusts and he passes and passes, y'all want to say why he wasn't running the rock, even though he still was sprinkling runs in to try to keep him honest. I saw this on tape. So he was a good play caller in my opinion, but not because of why y'all think he a good play caller. Because y'all were contradicting yourself every time we lost. Oh, he wasn't play calling, especially that Chargers game. He should have kept running. He wasn't calling the right plays. I went back and watched that film, and I'm watching all kind of adjustments. But sorry, and I ain't made none of this negative about Tua, but in that game, Tua wouldn't hit the adjustments. He either missed it or he wouldn't fire it. Or he would throw it into the area where it's covered. That Chargers game, y'all need to go study that film. Mike made some massive adjustments. They weren't executed. And he was trying to run the ball, but it didn't get the same 6, 7, 8 yard success. So it is positive. I like this play calling. But let's not make it seem like it was any better than the past. He can call certain things now because he got more protection and a better receiving core. Oh. TD, if I'm being real, almost all of our losses came from Tua. Well, no. I mean, I'm not going to say because he wasn't available, but okay, so you lost. If we would have lost to the Bengals anyway, in my opinion. You may feel different, and that would have in large part had been the Tua. He had already thrown 1 interception before halftime, and he had almost threw 2 more trying to force Tyreek down the field. They were blanketing down the field. He wouldn't take the checkdowns. But it is what it is in that game. Jets, we lost too early. That wasn't him. He didn't even play. I put that one on Mike McDaniel because you had prepared Teddy but didn't have your Skylar prepared. And he got thrown in there after the first play. The next one, Minnesota, that's not on Tua. I put Minnesota game clearly on Jalen Waddle. Waddle lost that game. He caused 1 interception, trying to body catch it, and it floated off into the defender's hands. And he fumbled once, and nobody even touched him. Y'all remember that one? Caught it running, and it just came out. Nobody even touched him. So that wasn't Tua's fault. And then our losing streak, San Francisco 49ers. Tua owns that. Tua owns the Chargers. I don't care what none of y'all say. Tua is the reason we lost Buffalo game. This is the one that everybody will swear up and down. They'd argue with me. I'm telling you now, that kid, his ball placement in that game was horrible. All we talk about were the 2 touchdowns. 4 plays he made in that game that were pretty impressive to me. Both touchdowns, obviously, and then 2 more throws that were really nice. Outside of that, I am sorry. Tua had a horrible ball placement day, couldn't get any yards after the catch, and he missed a few reads. And I'm not trying to disagree with anybody on that. That's just my opinion. Tua lost the Buffalo game. And there was this agenda on making it seem like even though we lost, he bounced back because he didn't look like the train wreck he looked in the Chargers and the 49ers. They took that as a consolation of he didn't look bad like he did the last 2 weeks, so he bounced back. He still was the reason you lost. He still was the reason we lost. All right. Tua didn't drop 2 touchdowns in Buffalo. Well, both of them had terrible ball placement. The one that Tyree, quote unquote, that they say was for Waddle, just that discrepancy alone should tell you enough. And then the one Sherfield got to catch that. You never needed to put it low. Put that right in his chest. He in the end zone. You trying to do this low corner pass like the linebacker. But anyway, like I said, ball placement in that game. I don't want to argue with you. You have your opinion, I have mine. Green Bay, we all know that's Tua. And crazy because he was phenomenal. And the last 3, he just got to own it. Okay, that was just crazy weird. Okay, but I will say that 4-game stretch, Tua owns. So this is how I view it. Tua was the reason we lost 4 games, but not 8. Okay. He was the reason we lost half the games, but not 8. Now, why we won the 9 games, we know one he didn't play. That was Skylar. He won it. He didn't win it. Really, the defense won it. So Skylar didn't win the Jets game. Let's get that straight. The defense did, in my opinion. So that's 1 win. Tua didn't win. So there's 8 more. Tua didn't win the Patriots game. Okay. Tua won the Baltimore game. Ain't no question. When you do what you did, you get all the credit. You get all the credit. Your receivers caught and all that, but Tua gets all the credit with the Baltimore game. That first Buffalo game, I'm gonna say he won it. He gets credit. He didn't have to do much in that game, but he also didn't make mistakes. Threw for 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, I think, or 1 touchdown, no pick, 1 of the 2. But I got to give him credit for that game because he wasn't off in that game. He didn't have to do much. The way that it was set up, it was a lot of running. It was low possessions to try to. That was our scheme. But he helped win that game. That's two wins for Tua, right? That's 2 wins, 4 losses. What's the next win we got? The next win we got was Pittsburgh. He didn't win that Pittsburgh game. We know that. He did not win the Pittsburgh game at all. Okay. Defense leading the way again. Team effort. What was after that? Lions, Bears, and Browns. He won. He put his foot on those games. That's 5. I know the Bears with the pick, but Tua still balled out in the game. I'm just talking about games that he played very well and he contributed to the win. Not just rode the wave, okay? Just like the Jets game in the last one. Skylar rode the wave. He didn't win the game. Now, he made some big boy throws that should have been caught, but they weren't. So he didn't, you see what I mean? So Tua got 5 wins right there, 4 losses. Then we went on a losing streak. Well, the Houston game, he didn't win either. Another riding the wave game. Another game riding the wave. So Tua, in my opinion, as far as him impacting games, he won 5, lost 4, and rode the wave on 3. He rode the wave in New England week 1, rode the wave in Pittsburgh, and rode the wave in Houston. That's where I put it. Tua played great against Buffalo. Yeah, you're talking about the second game. Well, the first game, I mean, he didn't have to do much. I mean, I gave him credit for that when I said I gave him the win for that. But the second one, this notion he played great is just a lie. Y'all had got so used to see, y'all had saw, this is what it is, okay? Tua's Buffalo game was a 5.5 out of 10. The second game. This is the problem. You just got through seeing a 1 out of 10 and a 2 out of 10, so it made that 5.5 look like a 7. I'm telling you, that's the only thing y'all, that's what y'all being victims of with that second Buffalo game. He threw that one easy, think about it. You know what? I'll put it in the context. He played horrible versus San Francisco, but what was the first play of the game? A crosser that went for a touchdown. First play of the game. First play of the game, smoked them. 75 yards, whatever it was. There ain't no difference in Buffalo. That crosser that went for a touchdown, and then later in the game, he went one over the top 25 yards to Tyreek or something like that for a touchdown. 2 more nice throws in that game, and outside of that, horrible ball placement all day. Horrible ball placement the whole day. Terrible. So it doesn't matter. So 6-9 our record with Tua. No, what are you talking about? I think the record with Tua was 8-5. Our record with Tua was 8-5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think 8-5, I believe. Yeah. I believe so. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Okay. D-Hop coming to New England. Possibly. Patriots got money. Jets got some room to do some things. It's gonna be very interesting. We'll see. But yeah, we were 8-5 with Tua. And at the end of the day, only 3 games he rode the wave. Well, why am I saying 8-5? I think I missed that Bengals game. I didn't count that one. That's why I got the 5 instead of 4. Yeah. QB1 is responsible for games they miss. Yeah, I mean, on a bigger scale, yeah, but we ain't counting those. It is what it is. I'm not counting the games he missed as, no. Missed my donation, TD. My bad. Let me see if I can find it, homie. Give me a second. McDaniel got humbled, by the Bills game. Which Bills game? The playoff one? I don't know which one you're talking about. The playoff game? I don't think that game would humble Mike McDaniel. You lost by 3 with your rookie quarterback, third string rookie quarterback, and we keep throwing out third string. Let's not use that as a consolation. The only reason Skylar Thompson was the third string quarterback because they had already paid Teddy Bridgewater to come in before the draft. If they felt Teddy was anything a part of the future, they wouldn't have never drafted Skylar. So technically, Skylar was our backup quarterback. It's just you had already paid Teddy. So rightfully so, that's his role. So we'll see what they do this offseason. We'll see what they do this offseason. But yeah. Let me see here. Give me a second. Eagles will trash the Niners. No. He was nervous making bad calls. No, I mean, it was a lot of things going on. I can't judge it, especially with hearing about these mic issues and the headset and not being able to communicate. But it was a lot going on that's very interesting. T, remember the year we blew all the money on Wallace Ellerby and Philip Wheeler? This seems like the same situation. Guys who don't last 3 years. See, next year, if Dolphin fans need to realize we could win 14 games next year, and there's also a life where we don't even make the playoffs. People don't want to believe that, but that's a reality. So if we don't make the playoffs next year, what y'all think happening? What y'all think gonna happen then? You think they gonna keep these big old contracts? You think they're going to keep going down this path? So many things can happen. It's crazy, man. Dang, it was something that was off the tip of my brain. I was just finna say, but that threw me off. That straight threw me off. Oh, let me see. All right, we got a super chat. We got our first round exit. Time to rebuild again. I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all heard me early in the season. What are the expectations for the Dolphins? No matter what happens, somebody get hurt, it doesn't matter. We needed to go to an AFC championship. See, I've actually, gosh, Slippin' Jimmy, why did you do this to me? I've been avoiding this conversation because I personally felt like Dolphin fans weren't ready to have it. All I'm doing is going to anger people even more. All I would do is anger people even more. But you done brought it up, and y'all know once you done got my mindset on it, I don't care. Here I am dropping my cup again. Gosh, Jimmy. My expectation was AFC Championship. Look at the roster. Look at the roster. Do the Jags have a better roster than us? Exactly. You can't predict injuries. That's part of the issue. We want to sit here and make it act like, see, you have to build your team to withstand injuries. Look at what Burrow and them going through. You can't predict injuries, but it's your team. It doesn't matter if your quarterback go out. You have to be able to build your roster to withstand injuries. They happen. Because my whole point is, it doesn't matter if Armstead doesn't play all playoff games, we ain't going to win no Super Bowl. If your quarterback don't, we ain't going to win. You see what I'm saying? See, if Armstead go out, it don't matter Tua here or not. We're not winning a Super Bowl. But Joe Burrow can go to a Super Bowl. We ain't even going to a Super Bowl. We ain't going to the AFC Championship. We ain't getting out the first round even with them. You got to build your team because look at every position. If Tyree go down, we ain't got nobody to play that role. It's back to the Flores with Waddle. Waddle goes down. Now we got team scheming Tyreek even more, and they ain't worrying about the number 2. Even tougher. Armstead, wrap. Quarterback, tough. I'll take it a step further. Connor Williams, who do we have to back him up at center? We already see what we dealt with in the secondary. Got absolutely torched all year in that secondary, just about, except the last 3 games. Except the playoffs, we got torched. But I'm talking about the last 3 regular season games. I thought the defense played well in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers was just phenomenal. Played well versus the Patriots. Our offense was just trash. And played phenomenal versus the Jets. Our offense was just trash. But outside of that, defense got torched every week except the Browns. Almost every week except the Browns in the first Patriots game. Yeah, Dieter, who ain't played all season. Because if that was the case, then why they ain't just keep Connor at left guard and let Dieter be the guy? They obviously felt there was there's a big drop off. Steelers game, TD. You're right, the Steelers. But you know what I mean. The majority of the season, 12 games, we got torched. 12 games, 11 to 12 games, we got torched. Okay. But you see what I'm saying? Not to mention all our linebackers play like they are the depth. Christian Wilkins go out, what you got? Zeeler? Yeah, but they play together. Didn't matter. Already ain't got no organic pass rush, so I don't care nothing about none of them missing. I got another super chat. What am I missing? Hey, TD, sorry if you already talked about this and I haven't seen it, but what are all these talks about us getting Saquon? Just Dolphins having a wish list, hoping that the Giants don't re-sign him and how much they love to have him here. The usual Dolphin stuff. And if we make that happen, then good. But it's just Dolphin banter right now that a lot of Dolphin fans would like to see happen. But again, y'all really think Saquon gonna make a difference if we don't do other things with this O-line? You really think Saquon gonna make a difference if we don't get our act together on this O-line? The Dolphins got one chance to be a real competitor for the next 2 years, and I'm about to break it down to y'all because that's what this whole thing started from to begin with. We need to take all the money that we free up and then go invest in 3 legitimate offensive linemen to go with what we already got. And go get a legitimate blocking tight end that's solid. You ain't got to be great for the tight end, but just go get a real solid tight end, a real blocking tight end. We need those 4 pieces. Defense is going to suffer. It's going to start going downhill before it starts going uphill, in my opinion, unless they just shock me next year. But right now, I think we're going down instead of up. We're going to have to beat teams in shootouts. And the only way we can beat teams in shootouts is if the O-line is given 4 seconds to throw the ball, 3 to 4 seconds. You know, that league average is like 2 point something, but 3 to 4 seconds, like one of the best lines in the league. That O-line is also going to produce a top running game. Okay. And outside of producing a top running game, our receivers will take care of the rest with play action. We're going to have to win shootouts. We're going to have to average about 30 plus points a game. We're going to have to be better than Herbert's rookie year on offense because the defense is going to be like Herbert's was. And when you think about it, our defense was exactly how Herbert's was his rookie year. Our defense this year was exactly the way Herbert's was his rookie year when he would put up 30 points, but his defense would give up 31. So we're going to have to build an offense that put up more points than the other team's offense. We got to win shootouts because we got to go for broke in one area. We can't do a little on the D, add 1 or 2 more pieces on the offense. It's still too fragile. One person get hurt, you right back to normal. No, go get 3 offensive linemen, even though you only need 2. That way you got a phenomenal depth. Get you a real blocking tight end to go with Ingle. that can also catch the ball when called upon. And try to make the best offense you could possibly have. Run and gun, baby. And if the defense can give us something here and there and surprise us, even better. But you got to go for broke on one side of the ball. And you don't put too much on the offense for it not to be the side. Don't think this same offense going to be as explosive next year as teams know more about it now. They know how to scheme against it now. You got the same Chargers D that's going to run the same game plan next year, but be able to execute it better. And don't forget, they had third stringers in the secondary. It was just a good system. The scheme they had did it, not the players per se. Well, they executed the scheme, and their secondary was injured. Imagine them real athletes, them starters executing that game plan. You probably have even more turnovers. So we're going to be dealing with these same teams again. And they figuring us out. You don't think the Jets going to be a tougher out? And Tua ain't even play them this year. It's going to be even tougher next year with the Jets. Because truth be told, we're not talking about the fact that the Jets did what they did, banged up. They O-line was beat up. They lost their top running back, the defenders, and they still was doing what they were doing. And I'm sorry, y'all see the reports. They about to get a top quarterback. I'll tell y'all now, worst case scenario in New York is Aaron Rodgers. Because they're going to try to go after Lamar. They're going to get a house because he's younger and they need a future. But right now, they're not going to let this window close either. They know Aaron, if he could win, he'll do 3 more years as they keep developing their quarterbacks. I'm already convinced the Jets are about to get a legitimate quarterback. And what did the Green Bay the team came out and said when they trade Aaron Rodgers, it will not be to an NFC team. It will be to an AFC team. Who in the heck need a quarterback in the AFC? Who in the AFC right now talking about getting a quarterback? Well, I ain't ruling us into nothing. I've already told myself if they shock us, we're going to be going breaking news. We're going to be shocked together. We got a quarterback, whatever. I ain't trying to put our name in none of these things. Lamar no more, Aaron Rodgers. See, Greer came out this time and said they expect Tua to be the starter next year. That's all we waited on for the last 2 years. They would never come out and say it. They'd be like, well, we evaluate every position because they knew they were pursuing somebody. Now they probably, let's just go Tua again. So I'm going to believe them. And hopefully that's when they finally flip on me. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not putting our name in nothing. So the Jets about to get their quarterback. And when you go get Aaron Rodgers, what you think they're going to do after that with the money they got? They finna go get even more weapons. The defense is a wrap. And they probably going to get better. And they're going to get better. Hold on. What is that? Give me a second. Oh, I'll send that to him later. But yeah, the defense is a wrap. And don't forget, their defense was doing that. I believe Quentin Williams was the major piece that got hurt. Yeah, the round table tonight. Yeah, y'all come to that because I'm giving Dan nothing but hell. Y'all come to that. And let me tell y'all something. Yeah, I know Tom Brady in Miami. Well, let me tell you this about that Tom Brady situation. Again, I ain't believing none of it. But I know Tom Brady wants to play for Miami. I actually think the Miami Dolphins probably told him we all right. That's the most hurtful thing ever to be a Dolphin fan to know that. But I think that's what happened. Already happened. The Dolphins already told him, no, we straight. Because people trying to make it nothing. Tom Brady in Miami picking out schools for his kids. Well, his ex-wife lives there and the kids go to school there. What do you expect? Exactly. No, what do you expect? He wants to play for Miami because what man don't want to be there around his kids? They moved to Tampa. They were in Tampa going to school. They just moved to Miami. So you don't think he wants to be close to his children during the season? You think he want to start being that father that, hey, I'm off work and I'll see you in the summer all the time? That type of stuff sucks. And he got money, but still. He would prefer to be right there in Miami to be able to see his family whenever he wants to. Y'all mess. But I'm just saying, that's more of the reason why he would want to play for Miami. More of the reason. His kids down there, that easy. And don't make it seem like he just picking out for his kids. He just purchased a home in South Florida for himself. His place to stay. So I know he would play for Miami this year if Miami was open to it. I'm going to tell you now, if Brady doesn't end up in Miami, which I'm going to believe Chris Greer is Tua time, if he doesn't, it's because the Miami Dolphins turned him down. I'm telling you, it's going to be because they turned him down. You think last year was this fad thing? No, that whole family been wanted to move to Miami. So Greer doesn't have the ultimate say, TD. I disagree. Remember Stephen Ross came out and said he's removing himself from those decisions? In between, the next coach is going to decide the quarterback situation and Chris Greer will work with them. And I'm removing myself from the quarterback situation right after the Miami scandal with the NFL with Flores. Ross came out and said, I'm moving myself away from the quarterback situation. So all I'm saying is Brady wants to be in Miami. He would play for the Dolphins. But at this point, I don't think the Dolphins have a mutual interest anymore. Because I think the Dolphins are still embarrassed by what happened in the first place. We lost the first round pick because the NFL discovered we were tampering with Brady. We lost our first round pick because they discovered that, in fact, yes, the Dolphins were tampering with Brady. Yes, they had the meeting set up on the yacht. All of those things have been determined already. No, it's not a you believe that. This is a fact. The NFL did their investigation. Why else did you think we lost the pick? Just because Flores said it? They investigated. And I'm going to tell you now, Brady corroborated. Yeah, we met. Yeah, we were trying to meet. Brady corroborated. He told the truth. But then they don't want the ramifications of, well, now we're going to get him anyway, which even more guilt, because they denied it even up to that point. Not a fact. Man, Luke, stop. Stop, Luke. Please stop, Luke. If you don't believe that the Miami Dolphins set up the meeting with Tom Brady. Where have you been? And this is what I'm talking about, y'all. It's people out here that still denies that the Miami Dolphins ever even considered Deshaun Watson. There are people out here that still denies that the Miami Dolphins have ever been in talks for Deshaun Watson. There are people that still believe that. That's how deep it goes. That's how it's, oh my, there's something wrong out here, man. There are people who literally I have heard out their mouth that whole Deshaun Watson stuff, it would never was true. They never pursued him, never even talked about it. And now I'm hearing, you ain't the first one. Now I'm hearing people say that about the Brady thing. That was all fake. That's just Flores lying. It never happened. Are you kidding me? TD, they said the same thing with Jimmy G, and Jimmy G came out and said it. Yes, there were rumors about the Dolphins pursuing Jimmy G. Oh, that's all fake. That people just stirring stuff up. Jimmy G said out his own mouth this year, Dolphins were one of the teams calling interested in him. And then when they came out publicly and say they were going with Tua, he figured, oh, well, I guess they're not interested anymore. And he also said the asking price was too much for the Dolphins. This is out of Jimmy G's own mouth. They interviewed him before we played them. Remember, Purdy didn't start that game. Jimmy G was the quarterback. And in his interview a few days before the game, he disclosed that. He said, well, Miami Dolphins were one of the teams in conversations for trading for me. I guess the price was too high because after the negotiations, they came out publicly and said Tua was the guy. So I figured, hey, I guess they're not interested anymore because he said it was a few teams. In an interview, these were his exact words. So ladies and gentlemen, this is why I got tired of arguing with people. They have been trying to replace Tua since the day they drafted him. No, not the day he drafted him. Since the day he threw 6 picks in a weather storm in practice with Fitz and them. Ever since that day, Flores said, oh, hell no, give me a quarterback. And then the media tried to make it seem like a monsoon. I heard it was drizzling. I'm just playing. But he did throw 6 picks that day. Oh, my gosh. They've been trying to trade this man and get a new quarterback since rookie year after they got a look at him in Miami. All the way up to this summer, y'all. Even this summer, after Watson's situation was over, after they couldn't get Brady because of the scandal, even this summer, they tried to go at least get Jimmy G. And people out here acting like, no, they've always wanted to, man. And trust me, Jimmy G wouldn't come in here to be the backup. Y'all lost y'all mind. Oh, man. But it's Tua time now, okay? It's Tua time now. We got to see the Lions, the Bears, and the Browns, so we know we got the greatest of all time. It is what it is. But hey, man, that Brady situation, I'm telling y'all, he would be a Dolphin if we wanted him to. But I don't think we even want him to anymore. I don't think so. I just don't. We scraped the floor and with Bridgewater. Yeah. See, but that's the toughest thing, though. Who in the heck can you bring in to be the backup that can win games? I'm talking about legitimate games. We ain't talking about a guy who could come replace for 2 games. We have to legitimately prepare for a guy to be 5, 6, 7, 8 games potentially in any given season dealing with Tua. Who could be a backup that we could get that couldn't start on another team? Who? And that's my point. That's the dilemma Miami got to deal with because our quarterback ain't night and day that big of a difference. Who can you get that wouldn't even threaten him being a starter? Y'all stop with the Andy Daltons and all that once again. Mike White is Skylar Thompson. Carson Wentz washed. I'm sorry. And then how much will these guys make? Carr wouldn't go be no backup to try to take his. Carr finna get a starting quarterback job somewhere else. Y'all naming people who will be starters somewhere next year. Don't forget, there's always 5 bum teams that's going to start some of these guys. Sam Darnold, what's the difference? Jacoby Brissett. Do you know Jacoby Brissett had a higher PFF grade than Tua this year? Because you put everything around Jacoby, he actually looked decent. They lost a lot of tough games at the end. Yeah, I know Skylar going to be his backup, but if Skylar is the backup, that says a lot. If Skylar's the backup and they go get a young quarterback for the practice squad, that says a lot. That will ultimately tell you they believe in Skylar and they developing him potentially for the future. Tell you that now. And Tua it's on him to lose his job. Telling you, you miss because I'm telling you now, Tua have a 5-game absence and Skylar go out there and put up a Brock Purdy 5 games. I'm telling you now. It's going to be a problem. And I'm telling you, they probably won't go back with Tua because missing more games next year is his death sentence in the NFL as far as the Miami Dolphins. So why go back with them when at the end of the day, you're not going to go with him further on past that year unless you're dumb enough to pick up the 5th-year option this year. The Dolphins front office makes me question being a fan because they make the most incompetent decisions ever. It be like, okay, easy decision then. Yeah. It's tough, bro. You got to sit back and witness this. And all of this is only happening because the whole Flores situation, they got pride. Everything Flores told them looked like it might be coming to fruition, and they trying to fight against it as much as they can. They trying to fight against it as much as they can. Because an admission that Flores is right, think about that. I can't, TD. I can't root for this team with Tua next year. Tell me we are getting someone. I can. I can root with this team with Tua because I can hope that this offseason, since he needs rest and he can't really do much, that he's really fine-tuning his mental aspect of the game. And he comes in and becomes a whole new player that's doing things he never did from a processing standpoint and a reading standpoint. No guarantees, but I could be hopeful. And when the season starts, if I see that, I could be optimistic. And if I don't see it, more of the same, which will be very depressing. But at the same token, I'll at least come to the realization that at least this chapter is about to close. We just had to go through 4 years of it, though. And if they pick up the 5th-year option, then I'd be devastated if he fails next year. You don't really believe that, TD. I do believe that. I give him a chance. I mean, it doesn't change my evaluation. At the end of the day, my evaluation, only he can change it. When he rattled off them 3 wins and he looked real good doing it, yeah, I knew that it was against sorry teams, but it was still impressive. And I said, you know what? I'm not sold, but this is the direction that you want to see him headed in. And if he can do this consistently, and especially put a few games together like this against some great teams later in the season, I'm sorry, but he's turned a corner and he may be the guy now. But sure enough, he didn't live up to that. He didn't live up to that. So time will tell. What if he balls the F out and we didn't give him the 5th year option, TD? So what? Then you start talking about his new contract. That's more beneficial for him. Now he could skip the $22 million 5th option and go straight to the 40. That's all that is. That's better for him. And remember, he definitely had to absolutely ball. He'd have to ball. So 5th year option would be a benefit for us to save maybe 18 million or something like that, but it ain't worth losing it just in case you're wrong and wasting 5 years, which means the Tyreek era will, be over. Armstead will be over. X will be over. Byron probably had already been over at that point. Now all your young guys are getting paid as well, Holland and everybody. But you out of a window and you searching for the new one. So we'll see. Chris Greer is being foolish, though. You got to listen to the words he said. We're exploring everything is on the table. 5th year option, contract extension, everything. Either one right now is dumb. Either one is dumb. You need another year to know and make sure. Like, we're going to sit here and let our GM act like Tua has proven that he's a franchise quarterback. Because when you give him the deal, that's what you believe. TD, did you see a drop-off in Tyreek's energy on the field? Seemed like he was going all out early in the season to make Tua look good, then just gave up. I'm not going to make it a Tua thing, but yeah, he did drop off late in the season. Gave up on certain routes. Y'all remember that Jets game? Got bodied, man, and didn't finish the route. Sat there instead and pouted. Then he's out the game for a little with what was it, a hamstring or something? Nah, I don't want to hear it. TD, if the Dolphins hadn't committed to Tua, would you be willing to bring in Geno Smith to challenge him for the starting job? First of all, has Geno Smith not earned a starting job on the team for next year? He may go back to Seattle. And if he doesn't go back to Seattle, did he not earn a starting job somewhere? Seattle fans want him back. But did he not earn a starting job somewhere in the NFL? We keep on bringing Geno. They lucked out and got him on a 1-year, 3.5. He kind of fell off at the end. I get it, but people only care about the totality of the season. That's why Tua, people thinking that he had a good season. He fell off. Geno Smith ain't fall off compared to what Tua did at the end. But people still making it seem like Tua had a good season. So that same delusion going to be out there for Geno. Yeah, you got a little contract year. You act like the Dolphins are bums. 3 straight winning years. No comment. No comment. Tua got hurt. Is there a point to be made there? What's the point of him getting hurt? What's your point? I don't get it. He escaped the best defense we pretty much played all season outside of the 49ers, the Jets, twice. He escaped the one of the best defenses in the NFL twice. So why do I care that he got hurt like it was going to make a difference? Oh, he got hurt. He was already on his way of losing the Cincinnati game. Oh, but he got hurt. He could have thrown for the same 430-something yards Skylar and Teddy did versus Minnesota. Same yardage. Still lost. It wasn't going to stop the defense from doing what they doing. Y'all act like we were punting all day versus Minnesota. You do understand our offense was just eating Minnesota alive with Teddy and Skylar. We had 430-something passing yards. Tua wasn't going to overcome Waddle fumbling and Waddle causing an interception. Still would have lost. So I'm sorry. I don't see it the same way. I don't. Now that Patriots game, maybe. Hey, mama girl. Ugh. Ooh, ugh. You just woke up, mama? I know it. You ready to go? Well, you want to stretch it out? You hungry? Ew. Ugh. All right. You ready to go? All right, we're going to go change and eat, okay? All right, y'all, man. We done got another 2.5 hours in. Good little block. Bombs away, exactly. But yeah, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Bro, she's growing so fast. I know it. She's been a lot more active lately. All right, we gone. All right. You know what? I know what this is about. I got you. But I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Love y'all so much. Appreciate you. Hold on, mommy. Mommy wants you. She came to get you. All that joy. I think this is. Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here anyway, y'all, in a little bit. Hit the like button for me before y'all leave. But yeah, man, Miami Dolphins window is closing. That's what the stream started out to be about. And it is closing. If we want to compete, we need to go all out on offense and understand that we can only be hopeful of what we'll get on defense next year. But we got to go all out. Go get 4 offensive freaking linemen. No, 3 offensive linemen. We only need 2, but go get 3 legitimate offensive linemen. Spend about $25 million on those 3 combined. Go get a blocking tight end. And let's hope Tua can stay healthy, and hopefully we outscore everybody we play. That's the way that we can win with Tua. That's what it's going to have to be. Plenty of time to throw. Great running game with that O-line. That's it. It's the only way. Thank y'all for tuning in to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. I will come back at y'all later. We also got the round table. Don't forget that tonight. Let's go make fun of Dan Mitchell and them Buffalo Bills fans. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me today. Fans up no matter what. Let's stay positive, TD. Absolutely, we are. We're going to stay positive. We're going to believe in our team, Super Bowl next year, baby. But I think that's what we need to do to at least have a chance. Okay. That's what has to happen for us to have a chance. Yeah, to me, that's the only way. That's the only way. All right. Gotta trust TD at this point. It's just crazy, ain't it? Oh man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. It's Fins Up no matter what. Peace. I'm out.